Hello, everyone. This is me, Moralayo, again. Metrograde won't let us be great. It keep interfering with the Wi-Fi connection. Um, if for some reason I get disconnected, I would just pre-record and then upload it from there. But what we were talking about is the topic for tonight, which is relationship and the coming, which is the solar eclipse. But I also was given a going back, I'm sorry, to the first podcast that we had where we was talking about I am. And I just want to kind of give you, for those who didn't tune in on March the 24th, what I am means. I am means whatever I desire to be, to do, or to have. That's what that means. Whatever follows I am follows you. Whatever energy you put in behind when I say I am something, like somebody come up to you and offer you, ask for $5. Man, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. That's energy. So you speaking spells upon your life, upon your destiny. So, we have to be careful of the things that we say when um we speaking about ourselves or just in general conversation. You know, the best thing to do is someone come and want to borrow money, whatever that is, you just like, man, I'm circulating. That means whatever you done put out, you wait for it to return. So we have to be very careful on the negative um, words or spells that we are speaking upon ourselves, because words have so many different meanings, and what powers them is the energy that you have when you saying it. Because I have to be very, 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 very careful of um, things that I say out my mouth. That's why sometimes I pause, because I'm trying to make sure that um, I'm speaking something correct, and I'm not speaking anything that'll hurt me, not just from others, but just for myself. So we're gonna talk about relationships. Um, and I'm only speaking from a woman's view. Um, for myself as experience. My husband couldn't make it tonight. We are actually moving the remaining of our equipment out of our restaurant, um, making that transition. So he won't be with us tonight. So he wanted me to just touch bases on it, and then we'll catch up on Sunday with him. So let's talk about relationships. People come to me all the time and they ask me, how did you do it? You've been with him for 30 plus years. How did you do it? How did y'all stay vibrant? How did you do this? How did you do that? Well, first of all, um, relationships isn't easy and it isn't hard. The very first thing that we have to do is learn each other, and be open to change, because no one stays the same. So with that, these 30 plus years, they were not easy. Challenges after challenges. We had issues, we had many things. But what we both understood is that we wanted to be with each other. And what we have to also not do is put each other on a pedestal. I think each other is flawless, because we're not. We're human beings. We're going to make mistakes. Now, I'm not saying repetitively you continue to do the same thing, because every action has a reaction. But at some place, in some space in that relationship, adjustment should be made for that individual. And sometimes people don't want to do that. And I'm speaking in general, because I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, and I'm speaking from the relationship. And that person has to want to make that change. And once you realize that that person doesn't want to make that change for you, then you have to remove yourself. Well, what me and my husband done is that we sat down and we talk about the uncomfortability for him and for me, what I like and what I don't like. And once that is made clear and you don't make an adjustment to that, then that's a problem. We have to be open. We have to be very to the point where we can communicate, because if you can't communicate in a relationship, you're going to always have problems. And I'm not saying that that was easy for us, because it wasn't. It was something learned. Like I said, the key factor was we both wanted to be with each other. So, moving along in the relationship, we sat down. He stated what he liked to do. And I stated what I liked, and I stated what I didn't like, and he stated what he didn't like. So, with respect, I respected that, and the same thing with him. We have to respect. So, a lot of times people use the term submission, woman don't want to submit. Well, it takes two people to submit. It shouldn't be just a woman, it's the man too. Both of those comes with duties. And submission to me is respect. We have to respect each other. If we don't respect each other, then, I mean, what's the use? We have to not cause problems, just shame. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like I said, we just cannot continue to do the same thing. Like I said, we're not flawless people. We make mistakes, but we're supposed to learn from the mistakes. Okay. So the second thing is when you realize the strength of a relationship is trials and tribulations. That's when you know what you really truly have. Because in some relationships, um, when the test of time comes, they split. People like, hey man, I can't deal with this. I ain't signed up for this. I gotta go. You know, that's when you got your ride or die. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I mean, a lot of people, if you don't know, I'm more loyal. A lot of people know me by Nakia or Taylor, but I am a mother of 11 children. So some men have a lot of children with a woman and then leave them. You know what I'm saying? Especially when things get rough. You know, but I can truly say that about Ori Baby. He didn't do that. I mean, things got rough. I mean, got to the point where we lost everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, homeless. I mean, it was financial struggle. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like during that time is when we bonded the most. And that's when we became more powerful. When we stuck together and we made things work. You know, anybody who know me, they know, man, they call me Kia. So if I mention Kia, that's what people call me, Kia. They be like, man, Kia, you know one thing I can say about you, you gonna bounce back. Well, when it's one, I know I'm a force by myself, but I'm a force to be reckoned with my king next to me. So having him there, we got two minds working against the negative currency that's coming at you. And you're putting thoughts together and you working together. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is going to show you the strength of your relationship. Either they stay or they leave. And that's for male or female. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the journey, it has its trailblazers. I'm telling you, it's not, and it is still to this day. It's still challenging because he changed, I changed. So along with the change is adjustment. You know what I'm saying? So what I might like yesterday, I might not like today. And see, that's the thing we have to be open to. A lot of people like, man, you changed. I supposed to. You're supposed to change. You ain't supposed to stay the same. With time, everything changed. Look at the seasons. The seasons change. So why can't humans change? And once you come acceptable to that and be open to it and just pay attention, I ask questions. Have those conversations. Sometimes we got to have conversations that don't feel good. And I promise you, I don't have a problem with that. My husband, him neither. We have those uncomfortable conversations. You know, and sometimes the dude might end up spinning into an argument, but um, may have to wait a day or so because once the argument occurred, neither one of you going to hear each other. You got to be able to walk away from that and revisit another day. Like I always say, and I tell my children, I say, sometimes it's best to wait because a person can't hear you in the midst of all the confusion. But the opportunity will present itself for that conversation to reoccur. But then both of you are at a real sound mind state where you can have that conversation and then you can see what went wrong in that conversation that went to the left. You know what I'm saying? So you know not to revisit that. And then you have to be to the point where that you don't have a problem with taking accountability. Everybody needs to be able to take accountability. Okay? For whatever that is. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And you have to be willing to say that. What, I made a mistake. I apologize and be sincere because I know a lot of times people be apologizing and not sincere. They just be on some bull. Excuse me. But accountability, self inventory is very important. That plays a vital role in relationship. Okay, so we talking about respect. We talking about loyalty. Okay, loyalty to that relationship, loyalty to your family, loyalty to your husband or your wife. You know what I'm saying? Being there when times are hard, being there when he or she's sick, just being there as a support system. And that's what me and him have in each other. My relationship isn't perfect, and I tell people that all the time. I'm like, look now, and I don't have a problem sharing my trials in my relationship because it's no secret. It's none whatsoever. No, I'm not going, just get out there and just blast it to the world. But if someone come to me and asking me for guidance and stuff like that, I tell them. I mentor a lot of people about relationships. They call me and ask me questions, about certain things. How would you handle it, or whatever the case is. But I don't believe in just giving up. I mean, just giving up on your marriage. I just don't believe in that without a fight. I mean, for stupid stuff. I mean, people, unless they're not just being honest. That's the only thing I can say. Unless you're just not being honest about why y'all breaking up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things should be able to be worked through. But again, maybe they just don't want to. But some people are just so quick to go to divorce. Some people are so quick to be separated. Like, okay, come on now, let's do this with this one because if not, it's gonna be a chain of effect. You're gonna continue to do this in every relationship, and you don't want to do that. You know, so relationships are are finicky because we have to again learn each other. And that's just not in marriage. That's in friendship. You know, um, I don't use the term friend a lot because I feel like it's overrated. A lot of people abuse the term friendship or friends. Um, so I don't. I know what a true friend is because I'm that. I implement that in every relationship I get involved in, and um, but I don't get it. It doesn't be reciprocated. So, and not saying that I want them to do what I do because I never expect people to do what I do or to be me. But it's a feeling that you should receive from that person to know that it's authentic. And trust me, that core, that inner self, that intuition is going to let you know. We denies that. We avoid, we be like, no, no, ain't that. It's something else. It's exactly what you're feeling. They're not what they say they are to you, are for you. You know, um, People just attach sometimes just for fame. They feel like you're going somewhere. What they call them opportunists. You know, so we have to be careful of those leeches that call themselves friends. Um, I have a sis. I don't have friends. I call when I say sis, I call it because they are very near and dear to me. They in a spot. I don't have a sister. I am the only child. So a person that I call a sis is real near and dear to my heart. They hold a place here. I've allowed them to come in, and I don't do that easily. You know what I'm saying? If I allow you to come in, it's something about you that my intuition said is safe. You know, um, but beware of these people who holler, "Oh, friend this, all this, and this, that, and the third." You want to be mindful of those type of relationships because at the end, you'll be around here hurt and mad and want to hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that be very cautious on going into friendship relationships. You know, I tell my kids, especially my oldest one, I'm like, learn people. You know, don't go in um, head first and not thinking. You know, enjoy the moment because people do have their representatives show up at times, and that don't be them, their true selves. That be that person that facade that they want you to see. But when you make decisions early that entraps you, now you're stuck, you know, and not stuck per se in a relationship, but they're now a part of your life forever. Especially if you have children from them, you know. So now you will always have to deal with this person, you know. So my thing is that you have to go in it with an open mind. Everybody that comes around you is not there for a good reason. They have motives, hidden agendas. You know, some come to kill, like this. The Bible said, "Kill, steal, and destroy." You know, so we have to be mindful of who we that I'm not saying things that I shouldn't say. Clear, make it clear. That should would not so much what I shouldn't say, just making sure that it's clear when I say it because communication right now is it can be off. So I'm gonna hurry up before it decides to cut me off again. So we're gonna talk about the solar eclipse. The last solar eclipse we had was in 2017. They called it the Great American Eclipse. Now that eclipse, when it came, the path totality, it fell through cities. It says fell. It came through the cities of Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia and South Carolina. What I just named to you is the pathway that it came in 2017. Okay, it came straight across the map of the United States. I remember that eclipse. I remember when it went dark for just a few minutes. I don't know if a lot of you experienced that, but the coming pathway is Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Now, that's the mark of the X. So when you hear them say, they'll either say the coming or they'll say the X. So what they're talking about is how within so many years that we've had this solar eclipse and how it's making a marking across the globe. So it says, why is this is so important? It's the timing, and the sun is on its 11-year cycle. So what I've been taught by my spiritual guidance is that um, this eclipse is bringing about karmic change, restoration, awareness, enlightenment. Um, People are going to, I mean, it's the moments when you should be outside and you should just take your shoes off and just step on the soil. It's like a rechargement. You're going to be revitalized. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of spiritual aspects to this that spiritual beings should um, take advantage of. Also, um, this is not something to fear. You know, a lot of times people fear change. I get that. A lot of people don't. Oh no, I'm good right here. But change is coming, y'all. I mean, whether we want it or not, we can see it right here in the city of Savannah, how much change we had, and not just here, all over the globe, how change is coming. So you want to prepare for that. Now, what that is, everything begins with spirituality, being connected to your ancestors or to your God of your calling. You know, I advise people to really connect with their ancestors because those are your spiritual connection and your DNA. They will protect you. I know because they protect me. Mine protects me. But to move on, I want to talk about karmic. Let's talk about what this is about to do because, like I said, it's about to bring change. And when we use the word karmic or karma, a lot of people like to use it in a negative sense. Karma is not negative and it's not positive. It's not good or not. I mean, it's not just one way. It's both. It can be good or bad. But it comes about what you do as an individual, what, what you put out, what you plant, how your life was, how did you treat people. That's what that's going to be about. That's what comic a karma. This is what April the 8th is going to bring about. So we need to make an ego adjustment. We need to sit down and do an inventory of self. I'm not saying that that would definitely change what all you done put out there in the universe, because the universe is about to give you back what you gave out. So if you wrong people out there, because you're gonna get that. If you sow bad seeds and hurting people, you can just look for that to come your way. If you've been out here being good and sowing good seeds, just within yourself, speaking positivity on yourself, speaking just dropping seeds and imparting seeds in others, you're going to reap those things. You're going to reap those things back. So this coming is so deep and it's so vast that I can't really even um, go into a lot of it. But I did want to talk about comic because um, people really need to know. We need to pay attention to what we do because a lot of times people really think that what they're doing is right and it's wrong. You know, um, my grandma used to tell me, she said, "Kid, the worst thing you can do is make somebody cry." You know, um, and I get it. We get into arguments, and sometimes some people are emotional. I'm not just talking about just that. When you literally hurt a person to the soul, where they cry and they be like, "I would never forgive you." You know, that's deep. For someone to just come out and say, "I would never forgive you." I mean, literally crying, and all they say they hate you. Those words. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that them words gonna carry with you. Are you being disrespectful to an elderly? Um, my grandma always just tell me too, everything gonna fall back to my grandma because she raised me and she taught me a lot of things about life and what the do's and the don'ts. Some of them I listened and some of them I didn't. I'm telling you, but I had a great experience from the ones that didn't listen. But she always used to tell me, you don't want an old person to point at you. You don't want those are curses. They cursing you. You know what I'm saying? So if you around here disrespecting elderly, disrespecting your mom, disrespecting people generally, just being rude and nasty and cursing people out or mistreating people, you think you using them or whatever the case is, taking advantage of a person, you need to I don't even want to say the word repent, but just sit, get your cake and your ice cream, and just sit in the chair and just be expecting what's going to come. Now, on the other hand, those who are out here doing good for people, giving to people who are in need, I don't have anything against people. I think uh it's a certain way that we should broadcast what we do for others. If I go feed um a lady at her house, call for some food, or I take some food to her house after we close from the restaurant, excuse me. I'm not gonna put my camera on and videotape me taking food to her. I'm not gonna do that. I think sometimes people do that just for recognition, to be seen. And it's just uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't want people to know that the situation they're in. I get that. I mean, because when I was down and out, not that I didn't ask. I had selected people who I asked money for, or asked a favor. I didn't just go to randomly people, to ask for help. Um, and to be honest with you, when I lost everything, it was just me and my children and my husband. That was it. I didn't have family. Um, but it was designed to make me bitter, but I wouldn't allow it to change who I am. So, I continue to give to others. I'm very selective who. I give to. Um, because there's a feel to know that person is authentic and a situation is serious. Um, so, being in that place and know what that place feel like, you don't want a camera in your face when you not doing well. You don't want nobody to put you on blast because they brought you some Popeyes or some pizza or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So some of the things he said, what you doing secretly, I reward you openly. Okay. So some things need to be in secret, So you want the reward of that. I do a lot of things in secret. A lot of things that I've done for people, I keep to myself. Me and my husband will go around here broadcasting what we do. Because what the fame that I get from that, that'll be all I receive, and that's not. And there's no attachments. There's no motives to what we do. We do it because that's who we are. And see, that's the thing. People have to learn the difference between people who do things for attention or those who are genuinely doing it because of who they are, you know. So when you out here and people doing giveaways and stuff like that, a lot of people just doing it really just to be talk, just to talk about it. You know, I had a lady. She came. I mean, it was quite a few ladies, but a lady she came and she waited. She waited for us to close, and she came and rapped. She came in on the door, and she was like, can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Sure." So I let her in. She was like, I just really need. Can you help me?" And so I asked her. I said, "Well, okay, well, where can I help you at?" You know. She said, "I just really need some food. If you can just give me some food, so I can take back to where I'm at for me and my children, that would be sufficient." And I said, "Okay." But she didn't come for no money. She just said, "I just need some food." You know that was sincere. You know what I'm saying? She really needed that because she could have. Because I asked her what was her help, what she needed help with. You know what I'm saying? Because she said, "Could you just help me? How can I help you if I don't know what you need help in?" You know, so I gave her, I packed up the food. I gave them like 6 plates of food. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't throw nothing away. Okay, that's what I'm saying. A lot of things y'all don't know. What we didn't sell that night, if we had any leftovers, we took it to the shelter. You know, we didn't throw away food. So we fed people with that food. You know what I'm saying? So she came by. But my point is this: be mindful. I remember Master Prophet Ebernard Jordan, he said to me, he said, Prophetess Taylor, he said, "Who are you helping?" He said, "That are cursing you." I had to sit back. I said, wow, me helping somebody can cause a curse? He said, "Yeah." He said, and he used a statement. He said, "Who am I to interfere with the universe?" I was like, "Wait a minute." He said, "Karma." Back to what I'm saying. He said, "Don't you know some people have to go through because of what they did?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." He said, "So you have to tap in to your uh clairvoyance. You have to type into your spiritual self to know these people when they coming to you." And I was like, "Master Prophet," I was like, "Wow." He was like, "Yes." He said, "Believe it or not, helping someone," and I've seen it in my life, okay, especially with family. They'll come to me and my husband and they'll say, "We need this, 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 this." Now we done got the word that, okay, don't it's not the season to help. Okay, you got to just take and restore. But because of this situation and we don't like to see people down, we we give them the money anyway. We help them. Boy, did we pay. Okay? We were told whatever that is that they was going through, they wasn't supposed to be bailed out of. So we had to pay for that. We took on whatever that was, and we end up going through. And they wasn't there to even help us. So we have to be mindful. We have to literally sit back, and when somebody comes, just feel that in your gut. Just feel it. And I'm gonna give you another scenario. A lady came by the restaurant, a lady and a guy. They came by the restaurant and they said that their car broke down. And she said that the car was broke down on 36, and she asked, "Did we have $20?" They were trying to get home. But then in the midst of me getting to the drawer to get the $20, the car now is on 37th Street. So I'm saying to myself, okay, well, I'm already committed to giving this $20. So when I handed the $20, I said, "Now you're going to be held accountable if you're not being truthful." And I let it go. I didn't say nothing else. Well, by the time they got out of the restaurant to the lane going to 37th Street, they dropped the $20 in the lane. My son was taking the trash to the trash can at the time. And he picked the $20 up and brought to my mom. "I found $20 in the lane." And I said, them people asked me for? Because they went that way. Well, they came back, and guess what? They say they lost the money. I said, well, I gave them a word that Master Prophet gave me. Who am I to interfere with the universe? I said, I gave you the $20. Were you right? Was you just in the reason why you asked for it? Because I told you, you will be held accountable for this $20 if you're not being honest on why you need it. So I did my part. I gave it to you. You walked right out the door because you wasn't being honest. You were lying to me, and you dropped it because you was about to do something else with it. But anyway, that's what I mean about karma. Karma could come fast, but I know a lot of times people want to speak karma on negative. It's not just negative, y'all. It's positive and negative. It's good and it's bad. Okay, the same way you can read negatively, you can read positively. So it's what you put out. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's what you're going to receive. What's up, Brian? I didn't see you there. And Rashida. But yes, so spirituality sense, this is the season, this is the time where we need to really tap into the universe. We really need to tap into the universe. And what I mean by that, meditating, prayer, and I'm not just talking about day prayer. If you are awakened in the middle of the night around 4, midnight, whatever time that is, you think you just going to the bathroom. No, you was awake for a reason. The spirits woke you up. Olodumare, the Most High God, whatever y'all acknowledge Him as to be, or Jesus, it woke you up for a reason. That's the time you get up and it don't have to be a drag out prayer. Just thank Him for whatever. Pray for protection. Maybe you need to pray for protection over your children. So we need to tap in. We need to definitely get back into spirituality, in the midnight hours. Remember them songs in the midnight hours? He worked it out. Yeah, but we had old folks who tarry in the midnight hours. I remember I hear my grandma foot sliding in the middle of the night. She's in the living room praying. So between those hours, if you have been awakened for anything, to use the bathroom, or you think you getting up because your mouth dry because you want something to drink, or you just wake up and you're looking in the ceiling, you don't know what to do. Prayer is not a position. Just start praying. You can lay right in your bed and pray. You ain't got to get up and get on your knees. Prayer is not a position. It's a place. It's a place of consciousness. It's a place within. It's a meditating state where you communicate through the universe to your prayer, the Most High God, or your ancestors or whatever. So you pray for whatever that is that they waking you up for a reason. Okay. So I'm giving you that nugget. It's time to tap back in. Let me tell you y'all, because we coming into some times. Oh baby, revolutionary. Oh, listen, I'm not gonna even go into that tonight because that's a whole lot. And probably the next podcast. I know my husband he wants to um talk more on relationship next Sunday, but I don't know. I'm gonna see because we do have a lot on our plate, which I did touch some bases. But I want y'all to hear his side of what is a true relationship or how to make a relationship work, from a man's point of view, not just one sided, you know. But back to the spirituality. Okay, you pray. Okay, now it's time for you to get connected with the earth. Okay, let's get on out there and plant some things. I mean, if you feel like you can't plant fruits and vegetables, well, get out there and tall in that earth. Pull that energy up and plant some flowers. I know there's a lot of people on here like flowers. I hear them talking about it a lot. Plant some flowers, but get out there in your yard and plant. Get in the earth. You need to connect back to the earth. I'm praying you can do your own God because we need our God. We definitely gonna need your God now. You're gonna need going on out there in your backyard. You can buy you some uh plant beds from Home Depot or Lowe's and start planting. I promise you, you're gonna be like, yeah, more lions say this was coming. Don't take this stuff for granted, y'all. Don't take it for granted. Let me tell you something. Information don't fly all over the website for nothing. It's a reason. We denounces a lot because we don't understand. Because we don't understand things, we demonize it or we'll say it ain't true. Stop doing that. Research. Start just tap in and just listen to see what it say. Listen what they're saying. You know, because I'm a person, if I don't understand something, I don't never denounce it. I call I don't understand file. So what I'll do is I'll research and I start listening. And I tell you, every time I do that, I find some information that didn't make sense to me maybe a month or 2 months ago. Now it makes sense. Now I'm interested. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna throw that out there right quick. Like this AI. Okay. Do your research. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't telling you to do nothing else. Just research it so you can be aware. Okay. But back to this the gardening. You need to grow some vegetables, man. I'm telling you, it we y'all think COVID-19 snuck up on us? You ain't seen nothing. But AIDS just snuck up on us. We wasn't paying attention. They was talking about it in 2019, but they were denouncing it. So go back, just if you hear it on your page, you see it. I share a lot of stuff. I go on YouTube and I tag it to my page for people to view it, because it's a lot of information out there that we need and that we not paying attention to because we think it's not happening where we at. No, it's happening everywhere. It's everywhere. So we need to tap into that information. If you don't know much about farming, or you don't feel like got it in you to farm, which I pray for those who have that spirit that feel that they can't do it. If you live in an apartment, you can do it. Let me tell you something. Stuff has become so available to us. There's no reason not to have it. If you live in an apartment, you can grow your own stuff. They got stuff where you can grow it inside your house. I mean, come on. There's no excuse. There's none. Like I say, go get your plant beds and go get your seeds and plant your garden. Okay? If you do something that's not something you want to do, you need to start back start going to the farmers market. I mean, me growing up as a kid, I used to go with my grandmama to the farmers market all the time. She used to get her okra and all that stuff from the farmers market, all her vegetables, all her fruits. I mean, well, time was different back then. We even had the fruit man coming down, and I stayed in the project. Coming through the projects in his I can't think of the name of the car. It's right there. His station wagon. Fruit man, fruit man. You know, we don't have that today. They used to bring it to us. Now we got to go to it. Get up and go to the farmers market, like I posted on my page. Foresight Farmers Market has a schedule that they have every week. Go on that page and go buy your fresh vegetables and your fruit. You need it. I promise you, you'll see a life changing. We got to stop going in these grocery stores because, man, they're killing us. They're trying to kill us. They're killing us. The world is overpopulated. Again, that's the coming. Okay? So, the solar eclipse. So, we have to take information not for granted. We have to take it for what it's worth. And I hope it's worth something to you. I hope you just like, I ain't worrying about it. I'm good. And we ain't in that season no more where we good. We literally have to go out here and get information for ourselves because everything now lately is so coded that, you be like, what are they talking about? But I'm grateful for podcasts because podcast is putting the information out there. Going to YouTube and Twitter, not Twitter, I'm sorry, 'cause I don't do Twitter. Instagram, are you on TikTok? Facebook put out a lot of information too, I've worked to change my algorithm. I don't want all that negative stuff. You know, I don't want all that negative stuff on my page. I love laughter. I entertain laughter because I do like laughter. Laugh is good for the soul. Laugh changes things. When you're happy, it takes a lot of energy to frown or be angry and stay in that. And I don't have time for that. So a lot of stuff I try not to watch, but I have to still be aware of what I'm watching because it's not just about me. I'm here, my husband here, my children here, and I need to pay attention to what's going on. So they can be aware when they leave the house. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, again, y'all. This podcast is coming from the soul. I promise you. It's gonna be a lot of things on I am. I'm gonna speak more about I am again next week, but I did want to talk about relationship because I told y'all we was going to do it on Wednesday, which was our anniversary. Yesterday, the 27th was the day we met. Yesterday was the day that we got married, and today is the day that we renewed our vows, meaning we did our what we call um rites of passage to our ancestors. Okay, and um when we did that, that was like the glue that sealed it. Because now we got both sides of the ancestors that are pleased. Um, and if it was anything that needed to be worked out, got worked out, or whatever the case is. So the 27th was the day we met. The 30th was our actual wedding day, and today is our anniversary when we did our rites of passage to our ancestors, and that happened in 2022. So, with all that being said, I hope this information is useful. Um, I hope that you can take what I give you and implement it in your life. Um, and if you need to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook on Messenger. You can message me and I will respond. I'm not one of the ones that don't respond. I will respond back. You can do that on my page, which is Taylor Washington. You can do it on to Chef Gullah Geechee Soul Food Restaurant page. Yes, we are no longer at that location. Just to give an update on that, today we were finalizing our transition. I mean, we still have some more stuff that we got to get out of there tomorrow, but we finalized our transition hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna say today. With just a little bit of stuff that we got to get out, but we will be announcing our another location soon. Um, but my page is still active, and we still do cater, even though our doors are not open to the public temporarily. You still um, can contact me on Messenger, or you can still contact the phone number because it still works. I did not disconnect the phone number. So if there's anything that you need, or as far as catering, any events, just let me know. Just reach out to us, and we'll see what's on the calendar. I promise you, the calendar is more full now um, than it was as far as catering than it was when we were open. And it's probably because we didn't really have the time to do it because we were open. But now, like yesterday, we had two events. We catered two events yesterday, and I'm tired and try to move out today. So, with all that being said, y'all remember who I am is. I am is whatever you desire to be, to do, or to have, whatever that is. Don't let your current uh situation or circumstances dictate that. You know, we have to unlearn the program that they programmed in us to think lack. You know, whatever it says, whatever you desire to be, it is so. Whatever you desire to have, it is so. Whatever you desire to do, it shall be. You just have to believe it. You know, I used to say, I want I want me a BMW. I used to always say that. Want is just like saying I can't have it. And that and that word want, um it messes a lot of people up because we figure we're not saying nothing wrong. But want is symbolizing to the universe that you can't have it, because anything that you desire, you should know you can have it. So what we say is, I am that BMW. Or we'll speak, I have that BMW. You know, you have to speak those things as though you already have it. You know what I'm saying? You can't speak lack. So you have to speak positivity in it. And no, because see, you got two voices. You got this, what I'm using now, and then you have that silent voice. That silent voice in the inside is the one the universe hear. It don't hear this. So if I say I'm rich and in the inside I'm saying, I'm just saying this, but I'm poor, then that's what the universe hear, and then you gonna constantly stay in a poor state. So you have to speak. If you say I am rich, even though your pockets or your bank account don't look like that, you stay in that consciousness. You know that this too shall pass. It has to come to you. Nothing happens by nothing happens by chance. That's what they used to say. Nothing happens by chance. You have to know that you deserve it. Even though people so much saying about you don't deserve it, you're a dirty, filthy rag. Some people, I heard one girl, she said, "Oh God, I don't deserve it." I'm like, why would you say that to God? Why would you tell him you don't deserve it? If you don't think you deserve it, why should he? I deserve any and everything that I desire to do, to be, or have. I didn't ask to come. Well, I take that back. I ain't gonna say that because I did. That's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying, I didn't ask to come here to struggle. I didn't ask to come here to live in poverty. But he gave us the ability to create our own world. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you have to speak life. Speak life in your situation, in any situation. And I know sometimes our situations can be so burdensome. So you just feel like you can't speak life. You just, I'm just here. Oh man, things got to change. You got to the song say encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself, y'all. And I'm not just speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to me too. Because I'm telling you, sometimes I have heavy stuff. And the most heavy things I've had is my children. I can deal with me, literally. But Lord, when the stuff come up against my children and I gotta deal with me, that's a bit challenging. Okay? And all we ever wanted on this earth is our children to be safe. You know, and when that safe zone has been violated, you're like, okay, what I'm gonna do? You know? So especially when you have it so tight and then it's been broken and you don't know where in the world they possibly could be because it's so tight. You don't let everybody in, you know. So when it's broken, you be like, okay, wait a minute, hold up. Where I'm gonna start looking for? Where I'm gonna look at? Who I'm gonna call? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is y'all listen. I almost had a nervous breakdown. Okay, I couldn't think. I could not think. And it seems like as much as reality was sitting in, the more breaking down I was I mean, I was breaking down literally, and I was trying my best not to um think negative. I try not to. I was just trying not to do a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. I'm being honest, but I'm just grateful for my husband, my other children, and my spiritual family. Oh my goodness. They stepped in, and I mean, it was like, what is it we can do when I couldn't think on what to do? They was like, well, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's check this out. I mean, I couldn't I was froze, y'all. I mean, listen, I wish that pain on no one. to have a child missing. I promise you. I don't wish that. And I don't wish nobody child, the parent going through a child who's literally having a mental breakdown. I pray that no one has to experience that. And my heart goes out to those who are experiencing that. That alone can drive a parent crazy because you feel powerless and useless. Because where you feel like you got control, that's when you realize you ain't got none. You ain't got none whatsoever. You at the mercy of whatever. Only thing you can do is just pray. And praying that the God that you serve hears your prayers and fix or send your child or fix whatever situation it is. That was a lot in 1 week for me. I felt my heart leaving my chest. And I got 11 children, and my heart beat the same for all. And I'm telling you, Lord, all I can say is those who've been around me, who pick up their phone and call me, who showed up at my house, like, let's do it, what we need to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all I can say. You know, the police, I mean, they came, the detectives, they came, they were very, very helpful. They were not like just nonchalant. They wasn't that. They were concerned. You know, they went on ahead and put it out there that she was missing. I mean, like, oh, we got to wait such and such and such. I mean, granted, she is 17 years old. She left in the middle of the night, so I couldn't really tell you what time she left. But when I got up that morning, I made my rounds to check each room, and she was not there. And I'm telling you, I don't know. But with all that, I hear scripture in my head says, "To whom much is given, much is required." To whom much is given, much is required. So just know how much we ask for, how much we are given, you're gonna be required of much. I don't mind the requirement. I really don't. But when it comes to my children, the whole world stops. That's just how much I love my children. You know, I want the best for them. I try to give them the best. I try to make sure they're happy. You know, their needs are taken care of. Then we'll move forward with the wants. My focus, my husband's focus is needs, you know. Um, but that one right there made me open my eyes. And it's crazy that I pray that the things that they're not comfortable sharing, and and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go. We have conversation with our children every day. We talk to our children. We open. We tell them, "You can come talk to me. Whatever. Come talk to mama. Come talk to daddy. Or talk to your siblings, because there's a whole bunch of them. You can talk to any of them. You know, go talk to them." But somewhere deep down inside, there's a cutoff, and I realized it. I was like, "Wow." I really thought I had this open connection with each one of my children where they feel safe to come talk to me. And she didn't. She literally didn't. I mean, when she was around me, I mean, she hid it so well that I didn't even pick up on it. And this child under me every day. So I mean, pay attention to your children. I mean, you can ask questions. I mean, But if they don't feel like they can share that side of them, they're not going to share it. They're not. So now I have opened doors for people who are very near and dear to me that I know I can trust. I mean, trust without a shadow of a doubt to talk to them. Because they came to me, they was like, "Mama, can I call so and so and so?" Yeah, you can call. I want them to have that outlet, because I don't want what happened to happen again. So if this is a person that you feel like you can have that sacred conversation with, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, you know what? I love all of you. Um, again, I pray that this information is vital. Remember, the coming is April the 8th. Matter of fact, I think um, next week, Saturday, is the 7th. I'll be back on next week. I'm sorry, next week Sunday is the 7th. I'll be back on next week Sunday at 7. That's the day before the X, the solar eclipse for 2024, which I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited. Hell, I'm expecting something different. Your girl has walked through hell and high waters, and I'm ready for a miracle baby. Okay. I'm ready to receive the goodness. So I'm excited about April the 8th. I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna have my shoes. I'm connected to the earth. I don't know if I'm gonna be by the water, if I'm gonna be by a tree. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna be somewhere. And I'm going to, because I think it said that the eclipse time is about 1:27 p.m. that day. So I know a lot of people work at Monday. Hopefully, if you're on your lunch break, 1 o'clock. If you got a 15-minute break, save it for 1:15, 1:27, where you feeling, so you can go outside and pull that energy, pull all of that good vibration, the awareness, the enlightenment, that charge, pull it, because it is a spiritual transformation going on. Hey y'all, I love y'all, and hopefully y'all tune in next week. Um, we're gonna talk a little more about the solar eclipse because I have more information. I want to talk about the different levels of that we have in this universe. It's just not just the physical and spiritual plane. We have other levels um, that we can evolve to. Um, and I want to share those with y'all. I mean, I have a lot that I want to share with you all, especially what I am. I want to open doors for some people. I want testimonies for some people when they started tapping into the I amness of who they are. Don't be afraid to say that you're a co-creator, because he did. He co-created us to create. We speak those things that are not as though they were. Continue to do that. If you're not doing it, do it. Don't rely on your paycheck to say I can do this. God operates in the realm that to us don't make no sense. You know, I've heard of a saying if your dream ain't if you dreaming and it's not scaring you, it's not big enough. Okay, it's not big enough. I have a dream. My vision. I know what my destiny is now. I found that out, so I know what my destiny is. My destiny is big, it's wide, it's vast, and what I see for it, just like I'm gonna use the African ball for an example. That was huge, and I've learned that I am a starter. I start things. So we know starting things can be difficult because it's the unknown to people, like the Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball. That was unknown to us, to people, to black people, just for anybody. I had people ask me why Grand African Ball, and I'm like, why not? We have all these other balls. We have sneaker ball. We have this ball. We have Great Gatsby ball. We have all these balls. Why we can't have a Grand African ball? Why we can't know our true story? Why we can't know what our ancestors did? Why? And I'm gonna tell you, it was. Listen, the vision I had I, with the team that I got was implemented because I believe in who I am. I ain't saying it wasn't challenging. I ain't saying that. It was very challenging. I mean, I had all kind of stuff. Listen, boy, the hate came out of people. That's how you know you on the right track. When you get hated, oh my goodness, from people who you wasn't even expecting. God, I cried. Let me tell you. Listen, y'all, I cried. I cried many days. I had to release it. I had to eat that. I had to walk in humbleness. I couldn't respond because that's what they wanted. So I had to sit like, okay. Oh, but baby, my ancestors and the Most High God showed up, baby. Showed up and showed out. And he did it again this year. Now we have people reaching out to us, want us to bring the Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball to different cities. A new start. And that's my dream. I said I didn't want it just to be local because it's bigger than Savannah. It's crazy, but it's true. Because, and the reason why I say that, because most of the people who traveled here, most of the people who came there, majority of them don't live here. It's only a few here in Savannah that came to that event. Most out, most of the people traveled far, as far as Atlanta, as far as Washington D.C., as far as Miami, Florida, and as far as Africa. We had some Babalawos that came from Africa that came to see the Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball. That was powerful. So, if your dream ain't big, if it ain't scaring you, ain't big enough. God wants you to give him something that you feel is impossible. Some people feel like a Mercedes Benz impossible. A BMW. A brand new house. Be very specific on the house. Know your square footage, your bedrooms, and all of that. I reminded of a story, and I'm gonna close out after this. Reverend Knight. Reverend Knight was my former pastor, which bishop or prophet, Master Prophet Ibranah Jordan. That was his mentor. So a lot of the teachings that we got was from Reverend Knight through Master Prophet to us. And he said, Reverend Ike said that he asked the guy who plays the piano in his church, um, what kind of car you want? He said, any kind. He said, they don't make that. Be specific on what you want. What kind of car you want? And he kept telling him, he said, you need to know what you want. What it is that you want. What is it that you desire? What is it? And claim it. Don't let your current situation dictate that. You know, I'm just gonna throw this out there. A building is $3.5 million. Yep, that's what I said. Listen, with COVID and all the transformation and all the money we put into Chef, the one on MLK. But all I know is it is possible to obtain because I know the greater self that relies in me. I have not been disappointed in who I am. And whenever I put that energy out there of who I am and what I believe, and I walk in it and I know it and I live in it, it comes to pass. So listen, believe in who you are. And if you're not operating in this to some degree, operating, just give it a chance. Give it a try. So with that being said, Moralayo will see you all next Sunday, April the 7th at 7 o'clock p.m. We will discuss, we will tap back into some of the I amness. I got some more information for you for that, dealing with the mental, with the brain, with the third eye. I have some information on meditation and smell and even tone that can help you get there. Um, so we say April 7th at 7 o'clock p.m. Hopefully, Mercury retrograde let me be great, where it don't interfere in my communication. And as for me to you, y'all stay blessed and stay sweet. Peace and blessings. More lion, King Renola.